Oh, yes. Wouldn't it be great if it were that easy, right? Just a few simple steps and our quality of love could be just completely upgraded, particularly the self-love module. Yeah, I know. But this little skit does sort of point us in the right direction, so let's explore this and see where it leads. All right, so first we're told that we have to find our heart drive. Have to locate the heart drive. Obviously, we're talking about our heart center. And as I say here all the time, the heart center is the place where the infinite divine comes into expression as each of us. Right? And our heart drive runs on love already, was installed at the factory, so to speak. But, as we sort of progress through life, this upside-down world that's kind of based on a belief in separation, and we bump into other people who are either unconscious, or maybe they're harshly critical, or maybe they're just mean, or maybe we experience some profound loss, or repeated rejection. Right? All of which leads to self-doubt and self-criticism. And it doesn't even need to be the verbose kind. Just that subtle underlying self-criticism is destructive enough. And the original love programming gets corrupted and all kinds of malfunctions happen. For a good example is what happened with my daughter the first couple of years at her conservatory. I think I've told many of you know that she's attending a pretty well-known conservatory in Boston for music and dance and acting and musical theater. And if you've been to a Christmas Eve service, you've seen her sing, so she's talented. But now she's in a school where she's surrounded by lots of other kids who are equally as talented, and some even more so. And several things happened that first year that kind of combined together, just knocked the wind out of her sails. She was ready to quit, just kind of give it all up. One of the things was, it was just a little more difficult, I think, for her to be away from home and to kind of, figure things out on her own, and also to get used to the rigorous program that they have there. And so she kind of fell behind a little bit. And that translated into people thought she didn't care. And she kind of got a reputation as being a slacker. And then some really mean kids started this list called People Who Don't Deserve to Be at This School, and put her name at the top of the list. Well, when she found out, she was crushed, as you can imagine, right? And on top of that, she had an acting teacher who, how do we want to say this? There we go, dysfunctional. He would say things like, I'd rather stick a fork in my eye than see you do that scene again. I'm happy to report that teacher has been removed from the school, but, too late for Olivia. This left a lasting impression on her. And a few other things happened that just, cemented it for her. And so now she's suffering from serious self-doubt. Doesn't really believe she's going to make it as in musical theater. Now, I have to say this semester has been much better. And I think she's, kind of climbing out of this hole. It's much better. But I'm guessing that something similar, something like this has happened to every single one of us at some point in our lives, either as a child or a young adult, something that just knocked the wind out of our sails, and it sort of led us down a path of self-doubt, of feeling like we're not enough, of feeling like we weren't worthy of love and acceptance. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Or maybe we live in a world that is always comparing. We're always comparing ourselves. So maybe we've been comparing ourselves with others, and we think, oh, well, when I make more money, or when I get this great job, or when I find the right relationship, or when I lose the weight, or when I get organized, or when I finally overcome all this negative thinking, then I'll be able to love myself and accept myself. So we withhold love from ourselves until we meet these impossible conditions. And then even if we do, there's always something else, right? There's always something else we can come up with for a reason for not loving ourselves. Now, not that there's no room for improvement. I mean, for all of us, absolutely, there's room for improvement, but we need to start where we are, right where we are, and embrace the totality of us, flaws and all. We need to repair that love program internally by activating that module called self-love / self-compassion. We need to activate that. And the best way to do that is to actively understand who we truly are. We are all divine beings in process of awakening. Aren't we? We're all in process of awakening. We are all on a journey toward wholeness. Sound familiar? We're all on this journey toward wholeness. And like any journey, we get lost, we make mistakes, we get distracted, we loop back and repeat the same path over and over again. It's messy and imperfect and exactly the way it's supposed to be. It's exactly the way it's supposed to be. And when we understand that, it becomes easier to accept ourselves exactly where we are in our path. And then when we do, when we sort of open up to accepting exactly where we are in our path, we begin to see that we are enough. We are enough. And we have everything we need for our journey. Everything we've ever needed is always provided. And you know what? Our journey, every single one of our journeys is perfect because it has brought us to this moment in time, to this moment of awakening. It's perfect. So we're going to do an exercise in a couple minutes to install the Love 2.0. But before we do, I want to just step back a little bit and really explore some of the viruses we might have picked up along the way. Some of those viruses that are preventing the original love programming from running as it should. And some of those we mentioned in the skit. If you remember, grudge, resentment, that resentment programming is a virus. And it corrupts the system. It completely destroys our well-being. And we need to clear it from the drives, right? And the only way of doing that is by invoking that program called forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is really the magic cure. It clears all the malware from our system and opens the channels so that all of the peace, all of the love, all of the joy, all of the well-being, all of the abundance can flow once again in our lives. Now, it's not as easy as just clicking on the forgiveness button and then does it? Poof. We may have to repeat the process over and over. Just keep forgiving as many times as necessary to remove that resentment programming. So we do. And here again is what I believe to be the key to being able to forgive anyone. And that is to develop the understanding that we are all of humanity, including us, we are all divinely imperfect. We're all divinely imperfect. Isn't it great? It's like you can breathe into that. Whew. And we're all in process. We're all on a journey. We're all on a journey. Some of us are a little, ahead than others. Some people take a path that's 180 degrees from where we're taking, and so they have a completely different experience of life. And they see life from a completely different perspective. And sometimes we bump into people on our own path who are unconscious, who are maybe so caught up in their own stuff that they can't see the pain that they're inflicting on someone else. But I firmly believe that anyone who inflicts pain on anyone else is in serious pain themselves. Even that teacher, even that mean kid who came up with the undeserving list. Maybe they were belittled. Maybe they were, beaten up or whatever. Maybe they couldn't live up to some impossibly high standard or killed themselves trying. So maybe they deserve our compassion rather than our resentment and our blame. So when we begin to see it from this perspective, it becomes easier to forgive everyone, anyone. It becomes a little easier. And we begin to see that, we're all in process. And, most of humanity is completely unaware of their own divinity. They are completely unaware of their power. They're completely unaware of their oneness with everyone. It's almost as if they're handicapped. Think about your journey. And before you were aware, you had some spiritual awareness of your own oneness with spirit, that love was inside of you, that you were guided by love, and that you were really, truly one with, it's like you're handicapped until you become aware, until you wake up to this truth that, wow, I am love expressing. And I'm no different from anyone else. I am one with everyone. We're all in this together. We're all just radiant beams of one divine light. And so that perspective, and we begin to see that from that point of view, and then it gets easier. It's just this momentum that grows. And it's just, now I get it. Now I can forgive. Now I can connect with my passion and my compassion. My passion and my compassion. And so once we do, now we can live that presence, that divine presence, that loving presence, and help to uplift humanity, which is what we're all here for, really. We're all here to shine our light and to, be that loving presence. All right, so you guys ready for the install of the Love Upgrade Program 2.0? Have some music back there for me? Thank you. All right, so get comfortable in your chair. Take anything that might be on your lap and put it to the side for right now. Begin to take some cleansing deep breaths. And if it's comfortable, close your eyes or just gaze softly down on the ground. Allow your spine to straighten and your shoulders up and back. To just open your chest, give plenty of room for that love that is beginning to grow at the center of your being. Breathe into your heart center right now. And just bless that, at the beginning of the month, we talked about the heart, what an incredible organ that is. How from the moment our heart starts beating in our mother's womb to the very last moment before we merge with the infinite divine, that heart is constantly working day and night without our awareness. So again, let's just express gratitude for our heart. And feel that love begin to grow and expand, beginning to radiate through your entire being. Feel that warmth. Keep breathing. And now imagine, if you would, imagine yourself embraced by a loving being. It could either be a spiritual being, or a favorite guru, or your highest self, or just love energy. And just imagine yourself cradled and embraced by this unconditional love. Just relaxing into the arms of this unconditional love. See and feel this energy or this being loving you completely. Even your flaws, your areas of growth, the totality of you. Just feel yourself embraced by that unconditional love. And feel that immense love melting all of those past hurts, all of the wounds, all of the places that we have judged, all that self-doubt. Feel this immense love melting all of that into nothingness. Breathe. So all that is left is pure love. And so now we're going to share this love, remembering that it is freeware. We can keep it only as we share it. We're going to begin to focus our attention and our love out towards humanity as a whole. Begin to see each being as an expression of this one presence. As we feel this love, we awaken to the understanding that everyone is in process. Everyone is in the process of awakening. Everyone is just trying to make it through their day with their own challenges, doing the best they can. caught up in their own hurts, as if they were handicapped, unaware of their own divinity. And now we get to send this love out to them to help awaken that love within themselves. We get to radiate this out, that infinite love that they feel, that helps them awaken to this love. And we're going to practice this first with the people in the room and then expand it out. Imagine now that there is a bright, loving energy that is moving through your heart, arcing out to the person in front of you, in back of you, to the right side, to the left side. Keep breathing. Feel that energy of love radiating out from your heart to the others in this room, to their heart. Feel the love just multiplying exponentially in this room. Feel how healing that is. How perfect it is. Now imagine that that divine love is pouring in an arc through your heart and out towards anyone who you have had trouble with in the past. Anyone you may be having trouble with now. Just let that divine essence within you connect with the divine essence within them. Feel that warmth. And as that warms their heart, it begins to melt their pain, their past hurt. This love is melting their self-doubt, their self-criticism, their feelings of not enoughness. This love is healing. It is healing any sense of resentment. Breathe through it, feeling this immense love, healing it all. And imagine this divine love is now gently awakening that love within these individuals. Let's take a moment and really feel that now. Love is waking up. And it is the energy that moves, that heals. All right, take a nice deep breath and begin to bring your awareness very slowly, very gently back to the room. Stretching your body a little bit. When you're ready, just gently open your eyes. Look around you at all of these individuals that you have shared this immense healing love with, and that you, as a community, has sent out into the world. Congratulations, you have successfully installed Love 2.0. Namaste.